Okay, so Konami added a guild form. Well, okay, maybe I looked at like the loner deck. This isn't really guild format. This is like a bit later than guild format, since the OC was about like a year ahead of us at this time. So even though it's 2004, it's actually ahead of when guild format was. I think looking at some of the card pool, namely something like this, and this is one of the events where it actually might be in your interest to play loner decks. They finally did. They made it so where playing a loner deck doesn't feel like ass because of cards such as Pot of Greed, which is a UR, and Metamorph. Well, okay, Metamorph is a thing, but Snatch Steal, which is UR, Premature Bureau is a UR, and there is 0% chance you have any of these cards because these cards are banned. So, you know, if you don't want to spend your UR crafting, unusable cards, then you gotta play the loners if you want to play with these cards. And I do recommend that you do play decks that have these staples in them, because you're at a pretty big disadvantage if one player has Pot of Greed and Heavy Storm and Snatch Steal in their deck and the other player doesn't. Granted, if you have any brews on, like, if you're cooking on some decks for this format that are good despite not having any staples, please let me know. I'd be interested in playing some decks. Because I honestly, my knowledge of this format is practically non-existent. I don't know what to build in a format that's like post-GOAT with all the all this crap. So I'm probably gonna play the loners, and I'll get back to you on which one is the best one. So I will say that if you do plan on playing your own deck, this has sort of a feel of a playground Yu-Gi-Oh format, and without dating myself too hard, because who the hell was playing Yu-Gi-Oh in school in 2004? Like, imagine being that old, right? Am I right? Right? Yeah, you're not. It's gonna be like you're not gonna own the best cards. You're not gonna own the ultra rares because you're not. You're just not gonna have them. It's like you're a little kid, so you're just gonna be playing with a bulk from the bottom of your binder. And all we didn't have binders. We had cards wrapped in elastic bands. Oh yeah. Okay, so now that I have thoroughly tested the decks and playing way too many games than I probably should have this event, I've come to the conclusion that this is the best loner deck. This is simply because this is the one that's not trying to do too much. All you're doing is normal summoning monsters that replace themselves. So that means you have a steady stream of monsters every turn, and then you have a versatile spell and trap lineup. You have removal. You have ways to make use of extra gadgets in hand with Raigeki Break. You even have big monsters such as Mechanical Chaser, Injection Fatal Layer to go over the top, and of course, Creature Swap is it's pretty okay. It's the only issue is when you play the mirror match. I hate playing the gadget mirror match because, oh my god, summon gadget every turn, and then every turn you're just going minus using removal spells on cards that replace themselves, and then if you don't want to commit a Mechanical Chaser because it's an actual good monster, but this also gets 1-for-1 by your opponent's removal instead of like replacing itself. So that's bad. You want to like get to a point where you force your opponent to use the removal on your gadgets. That way your actual good monsters go through. The problem is when you go second in the matchup, your opponent has the initiative because they have the extra draw, but they have multiple cards to set, and it's tight. Honestly, it's a pretty interesting mirror match. I'm not gonna lie. It's if this were a real format, if we had to lab this matchup out further, we might have something there. What doesn't have something there is this deck. This deck has absolutely nothing. This deck is complete and total ass. Oh my god! I played a 13-turn duel with this deck. I resolved the Koichi. I resolved Magician of Faith to get back Pot of Greed. Okay, not Pot. I don't think I got Pot of Greed. I think I just stalled out for 13 turns because I don't draw Pot. I saw this card 0 times, by the way, in like every single game I played. I saw this card not once, so I could have just played my own deck instead of playing the loner. Not like it would have made a difference. But yeah, I wasn't able to fusion summon once in the 13-turn duel, and my opponent did nothing. They did nothing to hamper me at all. I'm pretty sure they didn't even play real traps, and the only way of fusion something I ever got was one Metamorphosis into Thousand Eyes Restrict, which is a one-off, by the way. We only have one of this because if you have three of this, the games might be dragging on for too long. I understand, but this deck, the best thing about this deck is fucking Vorse Raider. It's so bad. You have no protection at all, and these polys, these kind of the swamps, this fusion gate in your hand, they're all so bad if you don't have the proper piece. Like, if you don't draw Thunder Dragon to make Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon, your deck does nothing, and then you just have a bunch of dead cards in hand. Even if you do manage to get a fusion summon off, well, guess what? You spend 2 to 3 cards to invest into a vanilla beat stick that dies to one of like 9, 12 cards in this deck that goes 1 for 1. Or worse yet, you just gave them a big monster future swap. This deck is not it. Hard pass. This deck, this is honestly not much better. It has no, unlike Gadgets, again, the problem with this deck is it's trying to do too much. You're trying to assemble 2 to 3. So for Fusion the deck, you're trying to assemble 3+ card combos in order to get the game plan of the deck, which is make these big beat sticks that have no effects. You know, what we freaking do, right? Like that's bad. But this deck, you're trying to form like 2 card combos or something, because funnily enough, Horus the Black Flame Dragon, level 8. This card is not that good. It's unaffected by spells. Okay, so that means we only have this many outs to Horus. Then you don't. Oh no, there's no smashing spell. I still have 9 trap card outs to it. So even getting this out, first of all, it's a fucking brick. I drew this card every game I played with this deck. It was terrible. But even if you get this out, this card just died the next turn. Like, literally, it just got outed. You need to combine this with Royal Decree, and even then, if your opponent, you know, draws into, like, I don't know, they're Tri-Infinity Virus, or they're playing a real deck, such as cards with actual removal, like Warrior Toolbox, DD Warrior Lady, DD Assailant, that also just gets rid of this, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you have to jump through hoops to get this out. That's the entire point of the deck. You're also on Horus Servant. This card is complete dog shit. Nobody plays this card. Why is this card in the best card in this deck is, once again, Thousand Eyes Restrict. The only useful thing Horus Servant ever does is be a level 1 for Thousand Eyes Restrict. But you only have 1 of this. So any subsequent level 1 monsters you draw after your first Thousand Eyes, they're also useless. Also, randomly, Snatch Steal and Change of Heart are really bad in the mirror match, because your Horus monsters are unaffected by spell cards, and Horus the Black Flame Dragon specifically has this card deck that says control of this face-up card cannot switch. So it's not unaffected by spells, but it is unaffected by the spells that matter. Apparently, you know, that's what they thought out through when they played this card. And like, I don't think traditional Horus decks even played the level 4, because the level 4 is so bad. It's only 1600 attack. Like, what is this actually running over? Okay, you're not running over any real monsters with this card. You're running over the set monsters, which could be Magician of Fate, but it could also very well be just random stuff people are playing that are like have more than 1600 defense, and then this card does nothing. It only works with the 1-of level up, the 1-of, by the way, which this card is terrible anyways. Why you would never play this card. And yeah, triple Metamorphosis, even though you only have 1 good Metamorphosis target. Again, it's... Oh yeah, I'm gonna set a Fusilier Dragon so I can summon King Dragon to summon out a Luster Dragon from my deck. What do you freaking do, right? Like, I think the idea was they wanted you to use King Dragon to special Horus level 6 to get your combo going, but that's like a 3-card combo. Like, what the... Like, again, 3-card combos in a deck with barely any draw power, and no way to freaking... If you wanna get this done, want the best chance of getting this over has been done, and not want to build your own deck, play this own deck. It's the Gadget one is the best one. So, still, I will show you how these no-loner decks do play. So something I've learned is that people don't know how to deck build for this format, me included. That's why I'm playing the loner decks. That's why I'm not building my own deck. Because my opponent is not playing the loner deck, but check out what they're playing. First of all, 46 cards. Because there's just 46 too good cards to play. You couldn't cut 6 of the worst cards. All 46 of them were way too good to cut. And they're gonna set 4. Nice. Not threatening in this format because I'm gonna normal some Yellow Gadget and then enter battle phase. And That's a nice gravity bind there. Damn, if only this deck didn't run like a bunch of spell trap removal for it. So we got the Regeki break there, and they're gonna fairy box. Okay, so keep in mind that they have this fairy box on the field, right? Okay, so we're gonna attack anyways, and win the Gamba, nice tails. Attack again, nice tails. Nice tails. And then we're gonna set 2, and they're gonna flip Royal Decree. While they have a fairy box on the field. That was the most high value fairy box I've ever seen in my life, bro. Miss 2 times, get Royal Decreed. And then just kill itself. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna summon Copycat. Copycat, extremely terrible in the gadget matchup because all my gadgets are small as hell, and it's not worth. Like you see how minus they went. I got these monsters replacing spells for free. They spent real cards to get rid of my gadgets. Well, I'm gonna normal summon Green Gadget, which is bigger than the first 2 gadgets I summoned, so that's a nice Copycat right there. And opponent has no cards left already. Yeah, it's a set monster, and here comes the. I'm gonna creature swap to see what it is. It's a Mystic Tomato. All right, nice. We're gonna sack over the Mystic Tomato with the Cybertech Alligator, which is not a cyber card. Thanks, because I'm sure we were clamoring to run this in Cyber Dragons. And yeah, they're gonna send another monster. I'm gonna normal summon Red Gadget, attack into it, see what it is. Notice we have game at any point. We have an Injection Fairy Lily to attack for 3k, and we have a Tri-Infected Virus to out cards. And I wanted to do the swag way of snatching the Sphere Reaper, but our opponent doesn't let us because they Royal Decreed themselves, so I have nothing to fear, and my monsters are better than theirs. So that's, yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so here, this is the dreaded fusion deck. Okay, and that nice turn. Okay, keep in mind I have 3 polys in hand. Okay, I set the Koichi to draw a card. Opponent opens Pot of Greed. You know, if they were playing a good deck, I would be worried. But our opponent's also not playing a good deck. So, just look at what my opponent deck does. Okay, we're gonna... The Koichi, draw a card. Still cannot fusion summon. Attack into Parasite. I don't even know what this does. I don't even know if this works. Flip, shuffle this card into your opponent's deck. I'm pretty sure this card was not shuffled into my deck. Oh wait, that's right, it got destroyed by battle. I don't think you can even send it if it gets destroyed by battle. Wow, what a great card. This is what I'm playing against. Ceasefire, preemptive ceasefire for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't do that in the draw phase, because I have a flip monster. Like, you could have negated my flip monster effect to draw a card, whatever. So, here, I draw Heavy Storm. I'm gonna pressure, baby. 500 attack beats into I can't out an Invader of the Throne. Fantastic. So our opponent's gonna Kaiser Coliseum. At this point, I'm like, I don't have a single valid fusion target still. So I'm gonna attack into their Jowls of Dark. I don't know what the hell they're running. So main phase 2, I'm gonna actually Heavy Storm because I've had enough of this. I realize my only play is to set Magician of Faith and hope they don't have cross out, which thank God they don't. And here I'm gonna flip Magician of Faith, get back Heavy Storm, and then I'm gonna Metamorphosis it. That is the only fusion summon. This isn't even a fusion summon, this is a special summon. It doesn't count as a fusion summon. So that's the only extra deck monster I summon this entire time. And we're getting a Giant Germ out. Okay, so here comes the 2 Giant Germs. Now, Thousand Eyes Restrict is kind of broken because your monsters cannot change battle position and nothing else can attack. So it's like, yeah, this is why this card ruled the entire format. And I'm gonna Heavy Storm again because fun fact, if Thousand Eyes Restrict gets unequipped, you can use this effect again. You just can't equip multiple monsters. So if you find a way to get rid of the equipped monster to it, you can also do it by crashing if they had bigger monsters. Then you can just constantly suck their monsters. And I'm gonna suck their face down, which is another Invader of the Throne. And I'm gonna normal Lesser Fiend, which somehow counters Giant Germ because they banished it, which means I don't take 500 burn. And again, this is just a great fusion deck. Opponent summons Dark Necrofear. Oh no, Dark Necrofear. And here I draw a Ring of Destruction. I'm just gonna Snatch Steal it, normal summon. I didn't. It's not that I even couldn't fusion summon. I didn't draw a single fusion material then in 13 turns, and my win con was Snatch Stealing my opponent's monster that was bigger than mine. Jesus Christ, bro. This deck is so ass. Alright, finally, here's the game of Horus. Okay. This this is the best opening hand you could get. Normal Summon, Luster Dragon, set Royal Decree. Honestly, this hand is like probably the best hand that can produce. Because imagine if you drew some of your Horus servants and do absolute jack shit, or your level monsters for a monster that you can't summon. Fantastic. And oh look at this. We drew this card. So what a surprise. We drew the brick. Opponent opens pot B. That sucks. They're gonna level up for their Horus the Black Flame Dragon instead of Horus level 8. Man, Horus level 8, man. What a great card. So certainly there's no way the loner deck has a way to out Horus level 8, right? So yeah, here comes the tribe. I'm dumbing the Fusilier. Goodbye. I don't know why I kept it. I kept this in hand with the the pipe dream that I will eventually resolve a Horus effect sometime. And our opponent can snatch steal the Tribe Infected Virus, then normal with the battle. I don't know why they did it in that order. If this was a real back row, which I guess they knew it's not a real back row because they know what's in the loner deck, and this deck doesn't play real back row. Thank you, Konami, for your deck building. And yeah, the only reason we're even in this game is because I keep drawing my 1-ups. Tribe and Heavy Storm. So here I'm gonna Heavy Storm back the Snatch Shield, get back my Tribe, and then I'm gonna dump the Scapegoat, kill the Breaker, and then attack and then set. And if my opponent had Knockout, Crossout, or not Crossout, Nobleman of Crossout, I would have lost on the spot. But if I didn't do this, then I also would lose because I have nothing. They summon a Luster Dragon, I also lose, and they're gonna Horus Servant, the best use of Horus Servant ever, better way, Metamorphosis target, take my Tribe Infecting Fires, not take my face down. So what you should do is you should take my face down. And then, well, no, wait, actually, no, you can't do that with Tribe Infected Virus, I forgot. Tribe is a good card, never mind, my opponent did the right play. But here I get the Scapegoat back. Why Scapegoat? Because Heavy Storm does this jack shit in this game state right now, especially against a deck that I know plays no back row. So I'm gonna set 2. And here, I'm gonna commence, this is how a lot of games of Thousand Eyes Brick go. It's the only monster I can attack. So you just, and you also can't attack over, so you just end up just taking beating. You just end up, the game just drags on turn after turn because nobody can really apply too much pressure on it. Your players are just trying to accumulate resources at this point instead of trying to overextend to it. So I'm gonna end phase Fusilier Dragon, and I forgot why did I end phase this? Because if I summon this in the battle phase, my opponent can literally just attack Thousand Eyes Restrict into the Fusilier, and then this would fall off, and then main phase 2 they could Thousand Eyes Restrict and suck my Fusilier again. So if I want to use Call of the Haunted at all, I have to use it in the end phase, so that my opponent can't just crash into it. And then that ruined my plan because I forgot Thousand Eyes Restrict has the balanced effect of not being able to change battle position. So I was going to change the defense so that I could avoid taking further damage and not also remove the equip to the Thousand Eyes Restrict. But I forgot I can't change the battle position, so I just wasted a Call of the Haunted for absolutely no reason. And my opponent doesn't even need to see that line. He doesn't even need to know that that's the way to play Thousand Eyes because he just drew the Tribe Infected Virus anyways, which is not the correct play because I'll just take 16. So I'm down to 600. And I have to end phase Scapegoat because if I do it anytime that's not the end phase, this Tribe will just get rid of my Go tokens. And here's the decisive play, man. Metamorphosis away the Go token, take the Thousand Eyes, take their Thousand Eyes, and then sack over the Thousand Eyes for the Horus Black Flame Dragon, so that I can attack and I have a battle phase. And then end phase, this card I kept in my hand this entire time finally shows up. Meanwhile, this card is absolutely terrible. Well, why are you running this card? They're gonna Magician of Fate for Product Read. At this point, they've expended their Tribe Infecting Virus. They have no more outs to this card. They don't run trap cards to out this. They run Premature Burial, which gets negated. There's Snatch Steal, which gets negated. So yeah, literally can no longer out a Horus the Black Flame Dragon. Well, my bad. They have one out, which is called the Haunted, but if they draw Call of the Haunted, they're gonna die because they're at 3100. So here I'm gonna normal summon Horus, attack into the Magician of Faith, and they're desperate. They're gonna add back Snatch Steal, even though I can literally, I have a negated monster and I have a monster that's unaffected by spell cards. So, yeah, the Horus deck is so good. It's so good. Yeah, that's, so you can see I had the most fun playing this deck. You know, a lot of my games with these two, absolutely not. If you have an actual good deck that doesn't involve, even if it doesn't have the staples, I don't care. You're probably gonna build a more cohesive and better functioning deck than whatever the hell these two are. Please let me know what you use in the comments. So maybe if I come back to this event and I'm bored, I can actually play something enjoyable. That's not just like gadgets and nothing else.